Today I will make the replacement class for our session last week. It will be about our lab 5, in which we will learn these outcomes from this lab. The first thing is how to develop Windows Form application, and then how to write event driving programming, and how to make a basic application control. So far, during our course for the object-oriented programming here, we have learned how to write the basics and input and output using the console, the black screen. But we haven't yet touched the graphical user interface that we can use in our projects. You are expected by the end of this course to develop one kind of project like Android application or desktop application, website, whatever you need to do, even if you need to create a game. So I will teach you how to create a Windows Form application, just a very basic one, like this one I'm sharing now, and then how to add some functionalities to these buttons. So before we start, we can make a small demo just to teach you the basics of how to create a Windows Form application in Visual Studio. And then after the design, you are supposed to do these requirements. So let's start from Visual Studio. I believe most of you have the same program installed already inside your laptops. You can go step by step with me. First of all, we can create a new project from this button here. Then after that, you can choose what will be your language, your intended application. So for us, we will use C#. But as we know, the program itself, Visual Studio, I can use it with different language. So for us now, I will just choose C#. And then from here also, you can choose the platform. What we will design in this week, in this session, it will be a Windows-based application. So I can use Windows. But again, you can use this Visual Studio to create an Android application using Xamarin language, which is supported by Microsoft. You can also use it to develop an iOS application for mobile, for iPhones. You can also use it to make like a TV based application. For us now, I will just select Windows so that I can get what are the different applications I can design in C# and also for Windows. Now, from our previous classes, we have been using the console application, which is a black screen. We were using like something like console.readline to read something from the user, console.writeline to display something back to the user. Also, we can create a class library, which is something to create like DLL class or function. And what we are going to do today is to create a Windows Form here, Windows Form app. Here you have two options. Make sure to select the .NET framework because this is the most supported version, the one that we need to design. So select this one and then click Next. Here you can name your application. What will be your project name? You can keep it like lab number 5 or just graphical user interface 1. That is up to you. So let me call it lab 5. And then you can choose the framework that is supported to you. You can choose the most updated one or the current one. Usually the most recent version of anything. Sometimes it will not be supported by all the functions or methods. So it's better to use the earlier version because they already have been tested by users. You will not face any problem when using them. So I'll use this one and then create. If you need to change the location, of course, you can change the location from this one where you will save your project. So far, so good, guys. Any questions so far? Okay. Now, whenever you start your project, you will find the main screen. You can directly go to start to see the output. It will take some time to load for the first time. And then this will be your basic form that you have designed so far. As you see, it is empty form, nothing in this form. We can enhance the visualization of this graphical user interface. Let's start one by one. First of all, you will not have this toolbox. If it is your first time to use Visual Studio, this toolbox will not be available. Also, this property will not be available. So what you have to do is to click on the view, and then you will have here something like search for the toolbox and also for the properties. This one, the toolbox, if you need to display it, just make sure it is there. So from the toolbox, we can select any component to add to our form. Also, make sure to select the other one. After you select the toolbox, you will find here the property manager. This one, or I think it is another one, you will find property somewhere here. Command data code. I think it is not this one. It should be properties somewhere here. I find it earlier. This one, property window. Okay. So we have the property window and also we have the toolbox. Now, if we focus now on the toolbox, as you can see, we have so many components here in this tree. If we start for all, you will find all applications or all components that you can drag and drop into the design. But they also created one common components. These are the most used components that you can use in Visual Studio. You can also have containers. Containers are a group of panels which you can use to align or control the other components inside. For example, you can use a tab control if you need to create this tab, this kind of tabs. You can create a tab from here. So for each tab, you will have your own design now. I can create tab 1, for example, to do something. Then when I open tab 2, it will be visible. Tab 1 will be hidden. So this kind of containers, they control our other components. You can also use panel to group a set of things. You can use group box to control the radio buttons and the checkbox, and so many of them. You can also use tables, whatever you need to control, you can manage from here. If you need to add a menu to your form, this form, if you need to add a menu, you can select one from here. For example, menu strip. Then I can name this one file. Second one, like what we have here in Visual Studio, file, then edit. Then inside file, you can create whatever menu items you have, like copy, paste, and cut. Then for each one of them, you can add properties, or you can add some shortcuts from here. From the property window, you can control their properties. Also, you can control or add a menu strip or a status strip. The status strip is something that is visible here. Whenever I run my application, I will find something here. For example, if I add this label at the status strip, I can change the text, the visible text, like date and time. Then I can add some functionalities inside my code to display the date and time whenever I run my application. Now, if I click the start button, I can add the functionality to add the date and time here. Now, some other components, you can add dialog to select font, to select color, to select a folder, up to you. You can also have some external components. So let's now focus on what we have. We will come back to this, the common controls for our design. Now, for my form, if you see the design that we have here, my form has icon and then the title stationery. For this one, to be able to see the properties, you need to have this property manager, as we say. You will make it visible from here, property window. Then select your form. Then you can see the text. The text is the title that is displayed at the top of this design. So I will call it stationery. You will see the name has been changed here. What are some other properties that I can enhance? You can change the starting position. As you see now, whenever I run my application, it will start not in the center of the screen. If I need it to be in center, I can go to start position and then select center screen. Now, whenever I run my form, it will be centered in the middle of the screen here. You can also change the size, width and height by drag and drop. That one is easy. You can also change the icon if you need to change the icon from here, and then make sure you have an icon inside your computer. Currently, I have this icon. I have tested before. The file name should be of extension ICO. ICO is icon file. You cannot upload PNG or JPG file. How to do that one? It is easy. You can just search for any stationary icon, find the image that you like, or you can directly go to any website. Like I think we have Freeback. Go to this website and search for icons. This way, box icons. You can download some icons from here directly. Or if you need, you can save any image from here and then find the website to make image to icon conversion. Okay, if you open this website, just simply drag and drop your image. It will be converted to ICO icon or icon file. Now, after I get the icon and also the title, you can also change the visibility. If you need to change the background color, you can also change anything you want here. Whatever you need to change inside your current component, because you'll have different type of properties according to the one you selected. For example, if I select a button, I will have different properties than the form. Each one has its own properties. So from here, you can update anything you want. Now we understand the toolbox and the property manager. Now we have something here called Solution Explorer. Sometimes also if this one is hidden or by mistake you close it, you can get it from here, Solution Explorer. Now what is this solution? It is the location where you will find all your applications. Currently we have Lab 5, and inside Lab 5 you have one form. If you need to add another form, simply drag and click here. Then we'll have one thing to add. If you select new item, you can add a new one. Windows form, like from here, Windows form, and then you name that form whatever you need. Make sure to select form Windows forms. That is in case you have more than one form inside your application. Now, currently we have only one form, form 1. So if you need to start the design, what we have inside our form or the design we have here, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 labels. Labels are some components that hold my some title or some keywords. So I will drag and drop this label. This is one. Now every time I have to go back and select. Otherwise, there is one alternative. You can click on Control, then simply drag and drop. One time you hit Control in your keyboard, then click on the screen. It will add one more label for you. Now, if you start for this label, it is stationery store. So you can select it, and then from here, you can do like this. Do the same for the remaining items. I will call this one by item. We have price and quantity. And then we have the total price. These are my labels I have in my screen. Now, you will see that we have one list here. to display the stationary items, the available items in my store. And then I have another list to display the items that I already added in the buy item list, and then their price and their quantity. So again, we have 4 lists. From that one, you can search for list box. This is my list box. I will select, then click Control 1 to add the list. This one, and this one. Now, all you have to do is to make a proper name for each one of them. Enhance the design as you want. I keep it like this. It's up to you to create your own design, but make sure it is very good and in good looking way. Now, we have also 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 buttons. When I click on the add item, the selected item from this list will be added to the buy item list with its price and quantity. Whenever I click add item, I will add new item into the stationery store. Whenever I click this add item, I will get a message to enter the price of this item and also the name of the item. And then we will create the item and add it to stationery store list. Whenever I click on the calculate button, whatever items I have inside my list of buy, I will calculate their total price and then display the total amount here at the label at the bottom of the screen. Whenever I click on clear, I will clear all the list I have inside my store. I will clear the stationery store, the buy, the price, and the quantity. And whenever I click on the exit button, I will close my application. This will be the simple application that we have today. So now let's add the buttons. This one to add, to buy, to calculate, and to exit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We still need one to buy. Okay, we already have one here. Okay. Now, again, for each button of them, you need to give it like a proper name, a proper display text. What I mean by the text and the name, the text is what is visible on screen. So this one is add item. This is what will be displayed on the screen. Also make sure to change the programming name. This will be your variable name inside your program. Usually, I prefer to call my buttons in this way, button add. Whenever I have a button, I prefer to call it button add or button underscore add, so that you can easily differentiate between them. Because now inside your code, you will have like button 2, button 3, button 5. You will not be able to distinguish which one is which. So it's better to call each button by its proper name. Now, this is the name, the programming name. Make button buy and then button calculate. Make sure also to change the text here. This one buy. And we have clear and exit. This one clear. Change the text and also change the display. Button clear. This one button exit. Button exit. And also here exit. Now, once you've done all of this, you can something here to make toggle. Where is it? Let me see. Yeah, layout. If you click on layout, now I have different buttons at different locations. See how can I group all of them? Then I can simply make them aligned together. Once you have this layout, you can align your buttons at the required location that you want. If you click here, it will be in all of them will be in center, align center. So wherever they are, you can easily drag and then align them together. And also you can this one make vertical spacing equal or make horizontal equal. This button all the buttons I have here will have the same horizontal space. So that will keep everything consistent. And then once you add like this, you can update according to your needs. Now you can also drag and drop, make it here. I can minimize it a little bit. And for now, we can keep this design. If you need to enhance a little bit, for example, I need to enhance these labels to make them a little bit bigger. So I can go to fonts. You will find here the values like 10. I like to have the bold. If you need to change the font, okay, you will have your new font updated like this. Same for these 4 labels. I can select the 4 labels. You can click on Shift and then make them up like this. Let's keep this one here, this one here. Calculate, click. This one I can keep it with the size of the list. It's just a graphical user interface. Up to you to create the design that you think it is more suitable. So I can do this one. Let's keep this one big. Clear and exit. If we need, we can change them and keep them somewhere else. Okay. Now, if you need a different look for any button, like the exit, it is like terminating the program. So I can change this one and make it with different color like this one. You can also make it bigger if you need, and also display its design. From here, we have one thing to control the design. Let me search for it. Has been a while since I worked with this one. Yeah, this one, flat appearance, this one. Whatever you need, if you click or if you choose this this bob or flat style, you can change the style of this button. You can also put an image inside the button. The size, you can control the size. The alignment of the text. If you need your text to be on the left, you can change it from here. Up to you. So up to you to control this design or change it according to your need. We can keep this one like yellow, like this color. And then you can continue your design in this way to enhance your design according to your needs. Now, I need you to take some time to make your own design. Do you have any questions so far? This is just an introduction on how to make your first design, maybe, if you haven't used Visual Studio before. But I believe some of you covered the course of visual programming in your foundation studies. We have taken the same IDE with Visual Basic. I teach some student the same program in visual programming using Visual Basic program. How many of you here studied visual programming? How many of you study visual programming? Yeah, we have Ahmed Haziq. Anybody else did foundation here at UTB? Okay, some of you in the chat. So again, it is not that complicated task. It is just a graphical user interface. All you have to do is to choose your component from the toolbox, drag and drop that component to your form. Then when you select that component, you can control its properties from the right side here in the properties window. So I need you to take some time to make your design. like take 5 minutes to finish the design, then we can continue this session. Meanwhile, if you have any question, make sure to ask it anytime. So finish your design, then we can see the code. You can have more time to practice later. Okay, you can have more time to practice later. Now, I created the design for this activity. Now we need to understand how can we add some actions, some events. But before we do that, let me just quickly highlight what is inside my Solution Explorer. Now, I said for any form that I add inside my program, I will have this one, form.cs, because we are writing in C#. Same if you have taken Visual Basic, it will be jot.vb. Now, if you open this one, you will have like one designer and one code. Whatever you design, it will be reflected inside this file. But this file, you should not manually edit this file unless you have the experience to do that. For example, now, for this button or for the exit button, if you go to the designer, you will find one thing at the bottom here. If we start from the button, these are my added items inside the form. One of them is the button exit. So we created private system something. As we say now in object-oriented programming, everything is belonging to one class or another. So the button exit, it is one type of button. It is from the class button. This class button is from the package or the namespace forms, which is also from Windows from systems, and it is a private. Now this button exit, it has some properties. If you go a little bit up, you will find these properties. One of them is the background color. The color I added in the screen, it is red. I can change, or its value will be written here. I can manually change these values. Now we have a function to choose this color. It is 1, 2, 3, red, green, blue. So red is 255, the maximum value. If I keep it like 100 and go back, you'll find that the color is changed. Now, as I said, this is green, this is red. If I keep 255 maximum and green is 0 and blue is 0, you'll find that it is total green. So I'm showing this one because you can manually change these properties from the designer.cs code. Now the location, where this button is located, it is in this X and Y location. So this is the location of X and Y, start of counting from here. When you say X, then how much space for the horizontal bar? When you say Y, how much for the vertical bar? So we have these two values. If I keep the X 400, you will see that it become closer. Now get back to it. This will be your name, your programming name. You should not touch this name from here. It's better to change the name from the design itself. Go to the beginning name, because once you change this name, it will reflect in all other places or all other locations. You can also make the size. How much the size of this button? Currently, the size is width and height. How much for the width? How much for the height? If I keep the height like 50, you will see that the button become a little bit bigger in the height. And also the tab index. Tab index, it is whenever you run your application. When you run your application, you will see this tab index effect. Now, if I click on the tab, you'll see that it will go to the next location. Then click tab on the keyboard, it will go to the next location. Tab, it will go here. So this is the tab. If we need to change the order of this tab action, then your tab index should be in ascending order, starting from 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. You can go to this one, check what is the tab index 3. Next one should be in ascending order 4, 5, 6. If you need this one, should be 6. And this one should be 7. So whenever you run them, they will go in order. And make sure no previous 6 or 7 are there before. There is something called tab index. I think we can bring it from here. Something to control the tab. It used to be here somewhere. It's just one tool which you can select, then automatically you can go by the item one by one, click, 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 then they will take ascending order. Now, never mind. The text is your title, the caption that is appearing on the item itself. Now we have exit as the name. If I say exit button, now this will be reflected here, exit button. So go back and whatever you need to add, properties, etc., they will come here. Now for each component, you will have this one inside the designer. But again, as I told you, it is not recommended to update this file manually unless you have the experience to do so. The best solution or the best thing to do is to control the attributes using the graphical user interface, the properties window here. But I just show it to you to understand what is the designer CS and also what is the code. Now, if you go to the code, click here, right, and then view code. You can view the code and also view the designer to go from the code and design easily. Now, for this one, for this form right now, if I click on add button, it will automatically generate one action for me. What do we mean by action? Whenever I click this button, you tell the Visual Studio what should be happened here. So whenever I click the add button, I need to add the functionality to add items inside this list. Whenever I click the buy item, I need to do the buy thing. So calculate, I will click all of them, clear, exit. Now all of them are created, all events are created. Also, if you go back to any button, you can see that now it is linked to an event. Here, if you go to the event tab or icon, you can see that we have a click event. So whenever I click on this button, this function will be called. Sometimes one common mistake or problem students face, they don't understand how these events are created. So they will go, for example, and delete this function from here. Whenever you delete the function is linked into the design itself. So if you go to the design, the one we created before, let me open this code. Go to any button, you will see that this line is created. We have for any button, we have a line that creates click. Sometimes if you delete the function and didn't delete this one, it will cause a problem. Your code will be like corrupted. Then you have to redesign all the interface again. So how to avoid this one? Make sure if you delete this function and it is not deleted from the design, go and delete it, delete this function manually. Also make sure in the design that it is not linked to anything here. Now, in Visual Studio, we have so many action events, so many of them. The current one is the click, whenever you click on the button. But this is not the only action that you can use. In your project, you can use different type of actions. For example, if you need to control the keyboard, whenever you click on or press, whenever you press a button on the keyboard, this is a key press. Whenever the button is going down, when you click or press the button, it is key down. This is key down. Whenever you lift your hand from the button, it is key up. So we have key down, key up. You have also for the mouse. We have mouse hover, mouse something, mouse click, mouse down, mouse enter, mouse hover. What is hover? If this is my button, whenever I go inside the button, this is mouse hover. What is mouse leave? I am already inside the mouse, the button. If I leave this component, it is mouse leave, this one. So you can double click and create that event to do whatever you need inside your program. Now go back to the properties and go back to the event from here. You can control the two of them. Now we created the event for each button. We can also create one event for the form itself. If I double click the form, it will create something like this one, this function. But it's better, I usually recommend to keep it at the beginning. So I will keep this function at the beginning. It is form load. What I need to do here when I load the form. Now, let's go one by one and fill these blanks. If we start by the easiest one, because right now when I run my application, I don't have anything. All the buttons are not doing anything, even the exit. So what should I do? I need to write something here inside the button exit to close my application. So it is called application.exit. This code, it will automatically, or it will close your application whenever you click on the button. As you can see, whenever I click the button exit, my form will be closed. Now, what is the button clear? I need to clear the information inside my list and also inside my total text. The value that I have here at the bottom, I need to clear it. So what I need to write inside the clear? For this one, you just make sure you select the proper component. What is the name of my first list? This is my first list. I need to clear the item inside this list. This is the name of the list. List stationery. Second one, list stationery by. This one, list price, and this one, list quantity. So I have this list which I can clear. So inside the list, inside the clear button, click, I can do list stationery by, for example, dot items dot clear. Now we don't use to have this kind of auto completion during my previous study. Now it is easier for you, I think, to write the code because AI has been merged in everything that we write today. So list price dot items dot clear and list quantity dot items dot clear. This will clear my my list. You can also make the one for the list stationery itself. So I clear the for list. Also, I need to clear the label. What is the name of my label? I have one label here, this one. It is label total. So I need to remove the text that can be written here. So let's, sorry, it is text or label total dot text. You can keep it like a 0 or you can keep it empty. For me, I will keep it empty. Now, if I have something inside the list, it will be removed. If I have something in the text, it will be cleared. Now, we need to do something for the loading. Whenever I load my form, I need to show some items. Now, let's come to the object-oriented concepts. I will create one class to hold the name and the price of my items. So inside my program, I can right-click and add class. This is how you add a class. Right-click on the project itself. If we need to add a form, as we say, we click on form. Now I need to add a class. So I will create this class and then I can give it a proper name for this class. I will call the class stationery item. And then, as you see, a new class will be added here, stationery item. Inside this class now, I can create my attributes as we take previously in our previous classes. A class can have a name, attributes, and some methods. So let's say we need to create a public string name. This will be the name of my first property. And see how the autocomplete of AI, you can get everything directly. Just click tab, it will create all of this. So I don't need all of them. I just keep name and price. Name and price. As we take before, we said that we have some getters and setters. What we mean by getter and setter, it is a function that I will use to get the value from the attribute or set the value inside the attribute. Previously, it was written in a long way, which you have to write public void or public get public and then the data type. Now it is becoming easier and easier for you. You just write get and set between these curly brackets. Now, for this one, I will keep it double, and then I don't need description. It's just name and price. And this one should be the same data type, name, price. Okay. Now, what is this one? I believe you understand that this is our constructor. You can add here, it is a constructor. What is a constructor? We say it is a special kind of method. It is a special method that has the same name as the class name. My class name is stationary item, so the constructor should have the same name as the class name. This constructor will receive the name and also the price, and then set this name and price to the attribute that I have inside my class. So whenever I create an object from this class, I will use this constructor to initialize the values. And then you have the name and price displayed here. Okay, like this. Acceptable? Now, what else I can enhance? Right now, what is the function toString? It is automatically generated for us. Whenever I try to print or display this object, suppose, for example, I have something like print item 1. Suppose that we have this function. Now, this function will receive an object. I need to print the name and price of this object. So right now we have a function that is already there called toString. That's why it is overridden. I will override the current definition of this function. The default implementation will be override by this current implementation. So the function will make a return, and here we have a return type, and then it will return the name and the price. For the name, it's acceptable. You can keep it like this one. For the price, you can change a little bit in the display, because right now the price can be, for example, 10 point something here. I need to keep it only to 2 decimal places. So that one can be managed by making here what we have taken before. After the price, you write F2. Now F2 will be the how many decimal points will be there. Then you can write RM or Malaysian ringgit. This one up to you, Malaysian. I will call it RM. Now I have my function ready to use. Now we created this simple class to manage the attributes that I have, the name and price, and also to make the print. Now let's come back to our design. I need now to add some items inside my list, because right now whenever I run my code, my form is empty. I need to display some items inside my form. So how can I do that one? We have already created this class, so I can create some objects from the same class. Stationary item, I can create like item 1, then pen. It's good now. It's creating everything for me automatically. I usually have this type of AI during my degree. We used to do everything manually. Now, I have created 4 objects, item 1, item 2, item 3, item 4. Each one of them is from the same class. And then what is this one? It is the constructor that we created before. If you click on control, you can go directly to that constructor. The constructor receives a name and price. So that's why I give it a name and price. Now I have my items ready. I can now add these items to my list. So again, thank you for the AI for helping me writing this code. I can add all of them one by one. Okay, we added the item to my list. Now the last thing is to add this wait, let me see if it will directly work like this, or we need to do something. Okay, only the price is not in the correct way. Do we have it here? Okay. We need to use the function that we have before, items dot toString. Okay, this one. I think this will be the solution. Let me try. Okay, we use it with the first one, which is the bin 1.5. Okay, that's correct, but we have a $sign added at the beginning. Okay, do we have a $sign there in the code? Yes, we have it. So remove this one. I need only the name and the price. So this one is not needed, I think. Okay, it's directly converting. Now, as you can see, we have done the task so far. We have added 4 objects, and these 4 objects are already added to my stationary list. Do you have any questions so far? Any question, guys? If you don't have mic, you can just write in the chat. Any questions so far? Nothing? Okay. Why we have a dollar? Okay, this one is acceptable. Okay. Now let's see the second function, the add functionality. I need to add some items from the user. Whenever I click on this button, I need to add something from the user. Remember, in our classes, we used to have console.readLine, console.readLine to read something from the user. But currently, we don't have a console application. We have a Windows-based application, Windows 4. So here we cannot use the console readLine. We need to use something like visualization, one graphical user interface to do that. And in order to do that, you have 2 options. The first one is to add a new form. You can create your own form and then make one input, one text input inside that form with a button to get that value. Or you can use something that is already there in the Visual Studio, but it is in the Visual Basic, not in C#. What I mean by this one, we have in Visual Basic something called input box. Input box, this one. Why it is in caps? Enter input box, this one. We used to have it in Visual Basic. Now, how can you do that one inside your current project? You can go to references. I need you all to do this step because it is very important. Go to references. Make sure your application is closed. You cannot edit the references or the design while your project is running. And then on the references, add reference. And here search for Visual Basic. The first option, this one. Make sure it is selected. Make sure this one is selected and then click OK. I will repeat this step. You can go to references, add reference, then search for Visual Basic. Make sure it is selected and then click OK. Now you can add or use this input box, but you need to add something at the beginning. Here you can write using Microsoft. Yeah, this one. See, it is already completing my code. So we have Microsoft, it is a namespace. Visual Basic is another namespace. Then from this Visual Basic namespace, we can use the input box. How I will use it? I will make something called interactions. interaction.input box auto completed the code. If you are not going to talk, then you can mute your mic. Muhammad Danish. Okay, thank you. Now, interaction.input box. If you select this function, you will see that it has multiple parameters here. What is the first one? It is, as you can see in the description, it is a string prompt. This is what you will see in the screen. Enter the name of the stationary item. Second one, it is a string title. This will be the title of your input box. The default response is the -1. This -1 here, it is the default response. If the user didn't enter anything, what you need to be the default response. And also the last one, it is position of, I don't know, input X position. It is not necessary. So for me, I will keep this one as empty. If the user didn't enter anything, I will keep it like empty. Now, we have this error represented X. Okay. We have 1, 2, 3. Okay, last one, I don't need it. I will change this one, the default value. This will be, as I said, the default value. If the user didn't enter anything, like if I keep it bin, when the user didn't enter anything inside the input box, the keyword or the word bin will be used. For me, I will keep it empty. Then we need to store this one inside string. So I will say string item name is equal to this one. So I stored the item name inside this variable. Now, as you can see, we can have autocomplete to check whether this text can be empty or not. If I add this code now, it will automatically check if my text is empty or not. This variable I entered from the user using the string is null or white spaces function. I can check whether or not this input is empty or not. If the input is empty, if the user didn't enter anything, I will get this message. Item name cannot be empty. And this one will be the title of the form. And this one will be the icon that I click, the button that I click. And this one will be the icon displayed inside the error. Let me run the code, maybe you will understand better. Now, if I click add, this is my item, my input box, this function, input box, the first one. Enter the name of the stationery. This is my prompt. Now, the title was add item. This one was the title. Now, if I didn't enter anything, I click OK, I will get this message box, the error. Now, I have this item name cannot be empty. This one is my message. The error is my title of this window. And OK is my selected button here. OK. And the last one, the error, is my icon. You can change this one according to your need. For example, instead of the icon error, you can choose any one of these icons. For example, info. I can change it to info, information. The button, instead of OK, I can choose another button like OK or yes, no. Let's see what I will have. I will click add, then nothing. See, I have now yes, no. But as you know, this form or this message box should have only OK because it is not for options. It is not yes or no. And this icon also, it is better to keep it like an error or warning. So I will bring this back to OK, the button itself. This one you can choose error or you can choose warning. If you choose warning, it will be the yellow icon. Now I need to get the price. Again, it is auto-completing my code, interaction, input, enter the price. This will be my message. This will be the title. We can add price. It's better, add name. Item name, I can keep it. Add item price, like this. And here it will be the default value. For the price, it's up to you also to keep what will be the default price if the user didn't enter any value. For me, I will keep it like this. You can also use this auto completion to check whether or not I have the correct value. Now, it will try to convert this value, the price input. It will try to convert it to double using the double dot parse. This is another function that I can use to convert string to double. Because I have string value, string data type, I need to convert it to double. I told you in class we can use convert. Convert dot to integer 32 or convert to double. I can use this function. But I'm trying to make another function, try parse. It will try to convert this string to double. If that one is filled using this exclamation, or if the price is less than 0. If I enter negative value, it will show me another message box for this one, and then with a warning, and then return. It will terminate my execution. Now, after I get my name and price, of course, we can autocomplete to get this name and price. Now, I will do the same like I did here. I will call the constructor that we created in this file, this constructor. I will call it to initialize my name and price that I got from the user. Then it will be added to my list. Now, this will be the code for the button add. Let's make some tests. I will click add. Let's see, we need to add book. We don't have any book here. So this will be the name. This will be the price. We added book in the item. I can add another one like we have eraser. Yeah, we have it. XYZ, just an item, and then 50. I can keep adding some items, name, price. Let's try if I make it negative. You will get this blue message. If you enter something, okay, this is the name, item name, that is acceptable. For the item price, I cannot make a negative. We already tested this one. If I try to make something like string, that string cannot be converted to double. So you will get another message warning. So now the add button is working. I need to do the button item calculation, and also the clear is working, exit is working. Do you have any questions so far? Any question, guys? Okay, let's see the button buy. What will be the functionality of this button? I need to, whenever I select an item here, I click buy item. I need to see a message from like a window input box to ask me about the quantity, how much I need to buy from this item. Then the selected item will be added to this list. Its price will be here. Its quantity will be here. Clear? So whenever I select an item, I click buy. The item will be added to the buy item list. The price and quantity of that item also will be added here. So let's add the functionality of this code. First of all, I will get the selected item. Get the selected item from the list of stationery. Okay. Okay. I added this comment. Why? If you understand, you can add some comment so that AI can generate some code for you. Now, my first thing is to check whether or not there is selected item or not. Now, if I run the code now, I didn't select anything. I will get this warning that our AI created for us. So whenever I don't have anything selected item is equal to null, then I will have this message, and then the program will be terminated. Then after that, I need to do the other things. If my code is correct and everything is correct, I need to ask the user for the quantity, how much he needs to get. So for that one, I will make one prompt for the user, interaction, not this one, interaction dot input box. Yeah, this one, enter the quantity to buy. This one will be the buy item quantity, the title of the window. This will be the default value, and I don't need all of this. No need for them. So the default value, if the user didn't enter a valid quantity, then 1 will be there. After getting this one, I will store it string quantity is equal to this one. So after that, I need to make the same thing. I need to make the parse if the quantity is less than 0 or not. And also here we can make, okay, wait, yeah, else. Not like this. After I get the value correctly, then I can now create the object. I can add it to the screen. First of all, what I will do, I will add the selected item. I need to add the selected item. So my list, what is that one? What is the name of my list I created before? This list is list stationary by. So I will add inside this list from this one. You have to remember your name of the items that you created. This one list stationary, this one list stationary by. So I will add inside the list stationary by, this one, the item that is selected from the previous list. So my list of stationary by dot items dot add, I will add the selected item from the first list. Now, second thing, I need to add inside the list of price. Inside, let me see if his code is correct. Inside the list of prices, I will add the select item price. Yeah, that can be correct. And also I need to add the quantity. List of quantity, I will add the quantity. So let's test the code. If I select notebook by how many, if I didn't select anything, we say it will take 1. So that is correct. The price is 2 correct, and the quantity 1 correct. But as you can see, yeah, that's correct. If I select eraser and 5 quantity, that is correct. 5, and then the price of single one is 0.5. You can add one more or less if you want for the total. You multiply the price by quantity, you will get the subtotal of this item if you need to enhance your program a little bit. Now, we finished the button to buy items. Now we need to do the calculation. I need to calculate the total amount. Whenever I click on the buy button, I need to calculate how much my total. Then I will assign that total to my label. I already have one label here in the design. This hidden label, it is label total. So inside this label, I need to calculate the total and display it. Whenever I click button calculate. So let's start by making double. Total is equal to 0. Why we created double? Because my items are from double data type. So that one is the first thing to do. And then at the end of this function, you will have label price, label total, dot text is equal to, not clear, it will be equal to the total. Okay, but it should be somehow, okay, this one is double, cannot be assigned to, okay, because the type of the function here, it is string. You cannot directly assign double to a string. So we need to make like this type of function and then make the total inside. I will write total sales, for example, and then I will use this placeholder to display the total. And then if you need, you can also, as we say, use the F2 to make it into floating point. And here you can write ringgit for the price. So total will be this much ringgit, okay? Now I finished the initialization and final display. Now I need to write the code, what will be done here. So our AI generated this code. Let me just make sure it is correct. It created a loop, that is correct. We need to make a loop to loop through the items in my items. So from the list price items.item.count. Now you can choose any list here because we have 3 lists, 1, 2, 3. All of them have the same items count. For example, if I add here, whether I choose this one or this one or this one, they have the same item counts. All of them have the length of 2. So for that, you can keep it like this. It will start from the first item, integer I is equal to 0, starting from the first one in the list until it reaches the final count. And then after that, we have the I++ to increase the counter. For each one of them, I will try to get the price of that item and its quantity. Now, remember that we have 3 lists. I will take the price from the list price dot current item, which is item in the location I, dot toString. I will get that item, and then I will get the quantity from the other list. It makes the code a little bit complicated. You can keep the current one. Also, you can make it a little bit easier. I will do something like this. Price, I will take the price from here. Of course, this one is better because it ensures that we don't have any error. But basically, it is like this one. Items, list price. Okay, then we need to make the convert. So double dot parse. Yes, this one is correct. What is the meaning of this line? I will take the value from the list of price for the first item, for example, which is 0. Then this item will be converted from string to double using the double parse. I will then keep it inside the double price variable. I will do the same for the quantity. I will get the quantity from the quantity list. Then I will convert it to integer. Then store it here. After that, you can make total is equal to this one. It will be like this. My total will be equal to the price multiplied by quantity. This is a short answer. But what will be the problem here? If I have any problem inside my code, it will not check for that error. So I will keep it simple. This one is better. Just get the price and quantity and multiply them to get the final total of price. Now, as you see here, we have a plus. So it will take the previous total in addition to the new total. And after it finish, I will have my total inside my variable. Now let's try. Hopefully everything is correct. I will try the pencil. I need to buy like 2 pencils and 1 eraser. And then calculate. Is this total correct? We have pencil 7.5 cents multiplied by 2, it is 1.5. In addition to 5, 50 cents, so the total is correct. So now our functionalities are all working fine. We have created the design and also the implementation code for everything. Do you have any questions so far? Any question in the code? You can write it in the comment, in the chat. I wish that this session was physical, so I can go through all of you and check whether or not you have any problems. But no worries, tomorrow we have another session. We can see if you have any questions during that one. Do you have any questions so far? Okay. Let me recap what we have done so far during this class. We were expected to cover all of this. The learning outcome of this lab is to develop a Windows Form application. I have taught you how to create your first Windows Form application, how to use some items from the toolbox. We have tried some of them. How to implement the event-driven programming. We have added some actions, some events for the buttons. and how to make a basic application control for the code we have here. What we created in our application, we created 4 lists of items, the one to hold the stationary items, one to hold the selected item, one to hold the price, and another one to select or to show the quantity. Whenever I click on the add button, I can add any new thing like a book, and then I can name the price of that book. Whenever I click on buy, I will ask the user how much he wants to buy, like he wants 10 books. And whenever I click on calculate, my total will be calculated for all these items, and then the final price will be displayed here. The clear button will clear the form, and the exit button will close the application. So that's it for our session today. I wish you have learned something new during this session, and tomorrow you will have your test one. I will see you inshallah tomorrow at 10 a.m. If you don't have any questions, then you are free to go. Your attendance have been taken already. Have a good day, guys.